Hello. So I'm not like totally sure what today's stream will be about or how I'm gonna do this, but I've been thinking about this project, making a website. Let's see. So either something or so. So the website would be to, I don't know, visualize kind of like I would like to say like welfare implications or welfare implications of end of the world or something like that. Welfare. Yeah, let's say like welfare loss. And I wouldn't say like from end of the world. I think like more maybe better way to say this is maybe welfare loss. Okay, let's say end of the world. Let's say changes in its probability. So I'm trying today to do this thing with this kind of tablet thing. So these are working actually. So last time I made a stream, I just used like a pen and paper, but I'm like trying to see if it would be like writing with this thing is very I don't know. I don't think I have like a good touch on it yet, but there's so much more like advances compared to like using like using pen and paper. Like I can move this like up and down, and like I was thinking like if I have like this kind of like a central theme here, then I can like build this around it and just like move to any direction here, and also like using these layers that I can just do this and then I can take it out like so I'm thinking about like could I use this to also make like these layers remind me also like of PowerPoint and stuff like that. I'm thinking like could I use this to make or a plan, some kind of PowerPoint presentation for this purpose of let me make this bigger. Purpose of making the grant application, so the PowerPoint would be the part of the grant application in itself, something like that. Now to make a website. Today. Like trying to like find like what would be a nice kind of website outline. Kind of like advanced planning. To advanced planning and okay, plan the grant, maybe grant application is better. Have to find the website, something like this. So I think I'm gonna go maybe push this a little bit here, move this just a bit. Can I have more space here? So I think I'm gonna just draw like a small version here. So the basic idea is to have the time here in the x-axis, and you could have a different, and then you have like so x is time, and the y-axis is either the annual Bruce-Lee probability, or it could also be like how would you say this? Could be like I'm feeling that it might be a lot easier with the tablet to write in cursive. Could also be expected cumulative welfare or it could be expected annual welfare. So and here I think the welfare measure is just like I think the simplest welfare measure is I wasn't planning to do so much writing here, but here we go. So welfare is kind of like could be like binary. So one is welfare of one is in this case is like civilization remains. And 0 is destroyed. So what this means is or human extinction or some kind of so this and here I think the problem with the binary thing is this if it's not like a total human extinction but it's just some kind of like a big loss in population, then what's the then I think it can be harder to it's I think then it's in at least in principle it's not binary anymore, so it's a little bit trickier thing then. But it could be like, for example, if the population like dwindles down to something like something like 10,000 or less, then it's like practically 0 compared to like current populations. But that there's also this problem here that it might the population might increase again at some point, so it's not so easy to think like this. But I think I'm gonna try the let's go here. Where do we have more space? Okay, I'm gonna go up here. I think I'm gonna try to make a bigger one now. Although even with this one, it's a little bit hard to say what's the good So here I think like I'm gonna like maybe visualize them. We are here, we have the civilization intact, and we go over time here, and we're gonna like remain. So this is kind of like what we hope to see, and then we have the expected some kind of expected so let's see, so here we have like a and here we have like abilities. So then there's another way to look at this is over time we have it's kind of like has to start from here and it goes like this. So I think this is what we are trying to maximize this this kind of it resembles, let's see if I can, what kind of cars do we have here? I think that's too much. It's basically this area here, this cumulative welfare that we want to have so here we have so there's the cumulative welfare if there is no this kind of loss, and then I'm thinking like what's the here the difference now, it's gonna be smaller than this difference. Well, let's try to draw it like this. So here we have the cumulative welfare with the doomsday probability, and so I think that this difference here between the cumulative welfares, that can also be, I don't know if it's kind of like easier to, it is this difference it is this value here So now I'm thinking like, could I would this also be a good way to somehow present this idea? Like, do I need these cumulative welfare measures here, or should I maybe also the possibility of somehow just, I'm thinking what would be the, like, I think every time I do this kind of thing, these kind of interactive dashboard visualization apps, there's the kind of like, it's problematic in a sense that there's too much stuff going on, and I kind of want to fit everything in one graph, and there's already gonna be one other graph in addition to this one, because I want the user to be able to have a view on different time scales. So if I want, so there's like a, so we have a choice between logarithmic and linear time scale. So we have here. I wonder if there's a way for this favorites. How do I tag something as? Okay, here, used. Oops. Try to. Okay. Also, like trying to find the best ways to use this. That's really nice. Just want to have it bigger, maybe. I could change. So let's find the favorites. See what's one of these nicer than the others. This one's a little bit thicker. I think this might be something in between, so I'm gonna put this favorites tag. There be something else here. Maybe we'll. Okay, maybe this one. Favorites. Okay. And now if I click here, I have these three here in the favorites, and this is also like nice. I can change the size here quite handily, because, and the opacity measure that. So like one way to do this would be just somehow right here, like what's the somehow like differences. And here also the accumulation, oops, it depends on the, I think I can manage with less of this now if I keep using those. So it depends on this time here, and I've been thinking like it's gonna be 2025 to start, and then if I have this logarithmic scale here, see, have another layer here, so let's try this, and this. So if I have 2025, so let's say I have like a user can choose the time scale. So first would be like a how many do I want to have? Like 10, 100,000. Yeah. Okay, well, I want to have just 3. This. So it would be 2035. And here I'm thinking like, so this would be like a 10-year time scale. And here it would be 2025 and 3025. So this is like now, and then you could choose to have a larger time scale here. So the next step would be 12,000. 25 maybe, because yeah, it's the original. So this is the original plus 10 years, and here we have like a original plus 100 years, original plus 1,000 years, and original plus 10,000 years. There's also another possibility, like I think this time scale issue is like something, I don't know, like I've been thinking about it maybe a little bit too much. So another way to do this is like you start with the, I'm actually gonna try with the smaller one here. I start with the 2025 and then we go like, so the next could be, wait a minute, how did I think about this? Yeah, this could be like 2030. So this would be kind of like a yearly scale here, and this could be 2100. So this could be like by the end of the decade, by the end of the century, and so this could be 3000, so by the end of the millennia, and this could be 10,000, and so on. It goes from there. And this could be like better for, I think this could be better for like very long time scales, because then you get like a, I think it's easier to think about like 100,000 and 100,000 and 102,025, which is kind of clunky, because the main point of the, I think the main the big idea about the site is to encourage to think about in very long time scales. So I don't know, this could also be an option for the user to choose, like whether they want to have like a by the end of the century or by like 100 years from now. Like it's a little bit tricky. And here, of course, if we go with this one, we cannot use, I don't know, at least not directly like this kind of logarithmic scales, or maybe we just have to place these years on a bit different points in time. So they don't really like line up in a sense. It's quite tricky. This could work, I think, a lot better with to put it here. Maybe if you have a linear time scale. So here, if you have like a 10,000 time scale, we would have the year 3000 around here, like very low, and then like everything is just here. And I think that would be better for visualizing the importance again of the like the further future. And it would put more emphasis there, but it would be also like harder to read. And I think that's maybe why I've been having this idea of having let's see, I'm gonna hide something here. Where do we have okay. Let's just take these out. Another layer. So I've been thinking about like having just here below to just have another one with maybe have like the 10,000 here, and then we have 2025 here, and then we have like, for example, the 3000 here. And now like this would have to, I think how I would have to do this is somehow like, because I want to have the user to have the here the possibility to change the percentages. So if this is for, and how many do I need? I need like So 2025 would be here. Then it would be cool to have like equal intervals for these so that they can fit in size. So this would be for 2025. So these would be at their original places, but the other ones would like here, year 3000, and here, like, let's say we have the 2100 and 2030. So this one away, and so we would have say like we have the 3000 here, yeah, like 2100 like here, and then we have like 2030 like here or something. So they are like very close to one another. So how do I do this? Is gonna have this little how do you call this? There is a term, but I don't remember. So, and then we draw something like this. And I'm thinking about, like, should I be color coding these and how to do that? So, and I'm thinking about if we go from green to like purple, because I think we want to avoid maybe red colors and something that kind of like inherently maybe implies danger. I think green is also already a little bit problematic in a sense that it signifies kind of like it has a very like positive connotation. If we go to, I think like these colors from like blue to purple, I think they are pretty neutral. And I also like, I want to keep, if I'm gonna use some colors here for the, let's go with the idea again here, like if I have like a kind of like a little bit, like we start with different shades of blue and we go towards purple like this. So we could also have somehow to indicate how massive the purple portion is. So then it kind of like goes like this. So this could be kind of like somehow some kind of transition between those colors. And it could be different here if you have so let's say we have let's see what layer do we have here. Take these out. Like this. And also here, I think these up. Okay, we have the same thing now here. Just have okay. Stop trying to figure out. So we have the same things here, and we can use the same colors to specify, like this is the 10,000 mark here, and the 3,000 and 2,100 and blue one here, and then we have the origin point. So we have here the same, and you can see that the numbers, they line up. So now I'm thinking maybe we don't need the numbers here. So if we just, could we just take these out, and instead we have here we have here a white line and it just has these like this. So we go like this is at its correct place. So and I think I want to have here. I'm thinking like, should they be if I have this so I'm gonna make a little bit of like a so this is the logarithmic time scale. This is the what's that? Just a minute. Okay. Yeah, so like where do I want to have the, because I've been thinking about, I'm gonna think about the button design, and I've been thinking like there's gonna be like two kinds of buttons. So I've been thinking about having here, up here, to have so odd would be like this, that you change the probabilities by clicking up and down on these values. So you basically have for each one you have 4 different numbers here, and this is going to be like and here's going to be like a comma or a dot in English. So this could be like so there's going to be like 0.15% annual chance for end of the world, and then you could argue that okay, it's going to be higher here. So these kind of like then, oops. So they would be kind of like here in the middle. So they, and then I would have kind of like this kind of, here I could use actually, if I'm not going to use the green colors for anything else, I could use them like here. Like I could have here, like this could be the, and this could be higher now, and then I would have for between here, for example, maybe again like higher, and a lower one here. So that would be like one scale, one like a vertical scale, and then I would have the other vertical scale to be just the survival. So if this is gonna like some kind of hazard rate or something, some kind of like a probability for destruction, then the other one is survival, and it starts at 100. So I wonder if the colors should actually be other way around. So should I have like red color here for the hazard? 2, 3, 4. And should I have the, because then there would be like implication that you should make this larger, this green color. And if I have the time scales, I'm thinking about this color like and here the background would be here it would be the blue background, and then we go like here. So now, yeah, this is what I was talking about earlier, like you would have a little bit of blue there. So you wouldn't even see this because it's so small. In the end, it's kind of like a blue for the linear scale, you wouldn't even see the background color there. So I could also like maybe for those who don't understand what logarithms mean, I could just call this kind of like a compressed time scale or something like that. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, the problem here, if I just use this kind of I think it would be a lot cleaner to use the, like, instead of this 2030, I could use 2035, and here 2125. It might be easier. So let's see if we have. I could have the years also here. Like I could do something clever. Like I could so. Or I could go it yearly, because annual is kind of like, could be again like a little bit of tricky word. No. Doomsday. Probability between so I could have here 2025 and okay. So, is this correct? So 2025, and then we have like a and. So let's see, we have the, let's just use the 2030 now. So then I could have another one here. So this is the same text here, and just have like between. So this one, these year numbers, they would like stick out here. So all of this text between the numbers, it would be a little bit like just a sec. Move this a little bit behind. Everything a little bit. So all of the, like all of the, so here again I could be using a little bit. Gonna just go back a little bit. This one away. So 2025. Then we have 2030. I've been using a little bit wrong colors, I think. 2100. Yeah. 3000. 10,000. Be using. Do we have? Yeah, this is pretty good. Let's have this. Like that. It's gonna. Just gonna. This again. Okay. So in this case, all of these they get kind of like the same amount. Maybe here like one thing that I should be thinking about is like especially this case is like the color. Okay, it should be something like if I have, maybe this is like the last color here, so it should still go. Okay, so if I select this one here, then like afterwards it should still go here like towards the like the red spectrum. So this color would always be, they should be at the center, and then everything in between here is, it's going to be calculated as intermediate values between those things. So this and this will help like now then to attach it to this time scale. So I think this is the good way to do. So we always, okay, we always have the and here. So there's always this and I'm not sure if we need anything like I'm wondering like, do we need any kind of like, maybe it could be good to have like some kind of, let's see, like some kind of border markings here, so it goes this one, have this, and then we also have those in here, so that you can make the connection. And I could use the same color here. No, it goes from here to here like this, and I think this could be create like a nice like it will help to make this more understandable, but it might also create some kind of like a nice visual element for the thing. And here I'm also thinking like it would be nice if these, for clarity and for some kind of like visual niceness, if these lines they don't cross. So I have to like think about this space here between, and all in all it's gonna be like very difficult to organize this So here and here, here, and this just goes straight like this, and all of these like these start and end points, they go, so they would be like centered so that they go straight to the thing. So now the one thing that I'm thinking here is the placement of these this could also be like a, I think we could have like a, what are we doing here? We could have this same, so these numbers could be like white as well, these like all of this. So it's just like 10,000, 3,000, 200, 20, 30, 25. So they could be in this same kind of boxes. So they could have these lines go here. This. Okay, so okay, they would match these ones, but yeah. Then this. So I think this. So something about when planning these, because I think it would be difficult to get them to fit on the same screen at the same time, because I'm thinking about when I'm doing this, I'm thinking about, I don't think I'm gonna, I don't know if I want to bother with mobile phones too much. I think that this will be like the mainly used with computers and like computer displays. So that sets the problem that the vertical space is quite limited compared to the horizontal space. There's a lot of like horizontal space, so that means that the scrolling here, it might be unavoidable. And I think that means that it would be nice if you could view this as, if you could be able to view this as kind of like separate, if they could also work in kind of vacuum, so that, or if people take screenshots of the website, so that those screenshots could kind of convey everything necessary And like I think this could also be called like some kind of verb could be actual scale. No. Should be some other pens here. I'm like trying to find something that I think writing with this writing tablet, I think like writing the words has proven the most difficult for me. And I wonder like how much can I help if I find like a good some kind of like a good good tool here. Here, yeah, okay, let's think about like if I want these to be so that they look good also by themselves. Like I think this works in itself that I have these here. So I could just like I could also like there should be like option that you don't have to have this scrollable view, that you don't have to, but it would be on by default, but you could turn it off. And then I'm thinking like what if the user takes out this here and this thing here would just like be closer to this one. So you would have this here and something like that. I think I need also here some kind of text explanation. So this one I'm gonna try. So here would be, did I think about what's the name for, how should I call it? So I could just have here, could have like this probability by year. So this could be just like Dooms. Okay. So I've been thinking about having this like survival probability by, or it could be X% survivability until 3000 until year, and could be like the same here, like a survival. So here also like yeah, the tricky thing is I could be using these, maybe this could be even a little bit redder. Could be using like some kind of red colors here for these ones, somehow signify that this is now like the has some like negative implications, and then I could be using here green colors. So then I would be using kind of like this this sector of the color pie for these like y-axis variables, while the x-axis variables, they would have this this section of the color pie. So something like that. But there's also like the other way to look at these colors is I could use like different shades here. I could use like dark colors, or I could use like what do you call this, like kind of like the grayness or the vibrancy of the color. Like the lower you go, the more gray it is. So I could use like I could like choose to select like blue color for this, but it would be like a different so it would be like maybe like super bright or something like that. So that kind of like would make it different from these guys. But I think like maybe my initial feeling is that this it's maybe better to make the variation with colors. And I could like there's something that I could use with this. If I like have the green one here for the survival probability, then I could have a, well, I don't know, like there's gonna be the green one could also be for, I think I could also like save that for the measure of the or measuring the value, so that we go like if we have the 100%. Okay. Let's think. Okay. I think here the value, the annual value for the society or like for survival is just a survival percentage, so it's the same here as the green one. So it's gonna go here. Okay, let's see if this is like a logarithmic, then it's gonna go something like this, even if it's so like if this is so if it goes here like linearly, then it goes here a little bit different. It has, I don't know, it's yeah, or it could be it would actually be like something like this. I don't know, like this kind of, what is here like linear, it would be. This is also like why it would be good to have this both because they can indicate some things a little bit in a bit different ways. And it would be nice to have them on the same. I'm also thinking like, could I have them side by side, but that doesn't really make sense. Or could I just do I need so much vertical space up here or between them? If I just made this so big that but then I would have like so much. If I would try to fit these both like vertically on this kind of like normal 16:9 aspect ratio, I'm like thinking like how much then I would have like at least half of the screen empty. Yeah, I would have like half of the screen empty here on the right hand side. So could I use that for something if I have like extra space here? What could I use it for? And one thing I've been thinking about that could be like important here is that you could compare to previous values. But maybe you could also have a comparison. What if you have two of these things that you could use, like you would have two different things. So could they show you what's the, like you could make a comparison between two different sets of values. like it could be used for that you would just have the copy of these things here, except that you can have different values. You could see how changes the values affect, but the problem is that is it easy to, what if the right hand side was these values here, but it would always have if you have a button a button here that says like run or something like this, that, or it applies all the changes that you have made, that they don't automatically update to the a second. Okay, this is not working. Let's see. Can I do this thing? Can I remove? Don't I have like? Why can't I remove, like, if I have spam here? Mod view. Okay, I don't want this one. Why can't I, how do I remove messages? Can I do it here? If let's try something. I don't know, let's see. Okay, I can ban this. Okay, that works. I cannot. Cannot I remove? Okay, let's continue. Here, yeah, I was thinking. So yeah, so you could have like a comparison results, and maybe they could be kind of like you could always see the previous results in like next to the current results. That could be a thing. But then you would have to also be maybe able to. It would be good if you could like zoom in and. Yeah, so let's think about some other things that I gonna like want to have here. Is the So not a layer. So one is the okay, maybe I'll add some stuff first here. So here now we could have like these are the then the kind of like the destruction rates here. So this would be the so I kind of want to have, even if it's very derivative of this survival rate, I would like to have the kind of like cumulative survival. So if you think about, okay, let's take the other one out here. It's not very pretty. So if you think about this, so the loss here, how do you, this kind of like section here, this is basic, this is the thing that I was talking about earlier, but this is the loss in the system. Like, I think this is what we should try to minimize, this area here, and it is very and I'm thinking about this number here, that it could be, if you go here, if you have if this was, I get white. So if this was 12,025 instead, so it's 10,000 years from now, and this is the kind of thing that I might want this to go on that direction that we think about. So then this value here at 10,000 is actually, let's see. So this would be 10,000, and here we have like 3,025. So this would be 1,000, and this would be 100. So okay, these are not these values, but it's the, actually let's think, do we want to have if we have yes, this is what I was thinking about earlier. Okay, and this again, this would go, where would this go? It should be kind of like exponential in this view, and it would be a linear one in this view, so it's like this. So And now, yeah, this is the, it is this value, it is the value of this green thing here. I don't know, so we needed to have more. And this could be just a little bit like different shade of green, but it would have to be something like that. It shows well here. So here, okay, here we will have, this would be like 10, 100,000 and 10,000. So now if you have this progression here, and so it is interesting that the difference here is, if you just look at this difference here, you could like quite quickly think that, okay, so it's gonna be less than half, but the accumulation here, this one, like this is the difference between this area here and then this total total area. So now let's try. So it's going to be a lot smaller. So it would be like something like this, and let's say we would have like instead of 10,000 we would have like 7,000. And here I think the difference here is interesting, and also the difference that, and this goes back to like if I have the previous values or something. So if I want to have how do I, it would be really nice if I got to, how do I express here that if there's a change here in this probability, I could also like I'm thinking like how easy it is to fit here. Like, am I using this space a lot, or could I be using like this space more? So if there's like a change in this probability here, if we go like from, let's say we have 2035 and 2135, and there's a decrease in that probability here, then what is the difference that it causes in here? So if we get something that starts to, because it's gonna affect the whole of this accumulation that we have, like if we survive this area here or not. So this, if this is the main message here, that we have this difference between 7,000 and 6,500. So and this is, I wonder if this should be kind of like fixed here, this, that there's always going to be, is there always going to be like a 10,000 mark here for if we don't destroy ourselves. And So how do I, is this the most important thing in the app, this like showing differences? So here we have this difference that seems quite small here. So this would be like 500. Let's say that something causes this kind of difference at 500 life years in a 10,000 year scale. And then you can show that if you add here like a 100,000 year time scale, like what's the difference between them there. So what if there's this difference? If there's a difference, how do you show? How do you visualize the difference if you change? If you make a change, like one way that we're thinking is that so you could have some kind of shadow values here, like if these are red colored, like could I use the palette so that I have like always the previous value here below, and and I would also like, okay, this would be the previous value, and this would show like how, so the value would read here, like, so if I go from 0.025, so 0.25%, and we go to these also like this. We could also like always start this could be 0 point something always percent, because I don't think like I don't know if it's realistic to set anything above 10%, or I don't know, that sounds quite scary. But if I had here, or maybe like some kind of little bit different color, like and you could have a selection here. So comparison. Previous values. So what kind of problems would this cause? I think showing the previous values could be also important, because there's quite like complex interdependencies going on here, because if you change this value here, if you have this then it will affect this value, because the way that I've been thinking about is that the user can always choose if they want to focus on this annual probabilities, or if they want to focus on these yearly probabilities. And I believe it could also be that, okay, there's this some kind of, you could draw also this kind of green line here in addition to this blue line, or they would have to maybe the maybe the blue, okay. Maybe the blue line goes here like bigger, and then we have the green line. Okay, this is a bad example. Green line on top of the blue line, so that it just goes until and this blue line, it goes from behind there. And I could make a layer that shows the previous values. But something that I'm not like totally happy with just having the previous values, like here. And also, the kind of like nice thing about it, I can save space by not. It might be enough that we show the actual values only here in the right hand side. We may not need them in like they may not be needed in the in this kind of like graph area it themselves. They're just here on the right, and then there's also a question that would it be possible or would it be useful if you could also, if the user can also change them and it would just affect everything. But I don't really know if there's any point in that. It would just, I think there's enough complexity already. Could also be like here, like well, 0% chances, like 0% extinction chances, could be something like that. I'm gonna see. I think I had somewhere written down these. Here, like what kind of there's possibility for choosing the time scale, comparing scenarios. There's also, if I want to add like to better grasp this loss, to have this kind of I don't think there's, there might not be need for any kind of like comparison zero chances. You just, if you just write it here, and I think it's also if you just keep like this 100% thing, so if you have like a 100% serval rate here, and then you have this one is like 10,000, like the colors I've been using here. So this would be what's this one? I think this could be like nice for scaling. So what would that imply is that we could also have like should we have here 0%? So we could have here, so let's say the 25%, 0. Okay, 0.025. Let's see if that's the maximum here always, and here if you have the survival rate here, I don't know, like could we just like what's the, I wonder if it would be just best to have this, would it be smart to have always here like 0% chance per survival, because then it would scale it's a little bit tricky. Like I think the 100% is always warranted. Then I'm thinking like if the user is looking at something very like small timescales. But again, we are not using so much of this, and there, I think there should maybe be also some kind of margin to if you want to put values there, if you want to show some values in the graph, which I'm not sure if we want to do. Like we might want to have we might not want to have this 0.25 here. We just want to have it here above, or it could be but again with the change, like do I want to have the actual variable, let's say like a yellow or something? Do I want to have like something to indicate the difference? But this, I wonder if it opens some kind of like what differences do we want to indicate? Like, do we want to indicate the difference in survivor probabilities? I don't know, but it's possible and it could be useful. Wondering if that could be something like if we are not really using this center space, like I don't think we have, like we don't necessarily have at the moment like any text here in the center space. And I'm thinking like we could have the text to indicate the change for some values. It's like let's say we have this one here, we have we wouldn't need it for, because if we have here, like we could have here below, I'm thinking about moving this server probability below the year indicator. Sure. Not sure. Then it could serve this lower graph a little bit better, especially if we are putting the timescales below there as well, but I'm not sure. And I think the change could be important because what I also want to show the user, like because it is related to the main message that I want to convey here, is that if you change here, like for this kind of like a decadal time scale, like from 2035 to 2025 or something, if you change that probability, then what will be, how does it affect the most important outcome, which is which could be this years lived and predicted. And here there's also the possibility to add, which I think I'm really seriously considering, like have some kind of population variable. Like how would it change this? How would it change this? Because like what would be the background change in human welfare if we don't have, if we are not destroyed? So I could just like the, because I have a lot of space, and what kind of stuff do we have on this layer? No, nothing. Because we have a lot of space here. Like if you don't want to add more graphs to indicate the difference, you could just have here kind of like some kind of headline that changing like some kind of text that if this is the separate thing here, so this would be another box. So if so, and this could like list annual probability between x and x is reduced by x percentage points. And we have like a, can you indicate that like a welfare increase of and then there's a bit also about this naming concept that like so it could be like, how would you say this? So it could be like what? human coins. It could be like a lifespan. Maybe not lives. Maybe that's bad. I wonder if that's a bad. Because it's not a lifespan, because if this is the accumulation, it's just like lives. Or could be just like expected existence increased by X years. So this would be the expected increase. So this would be the this would be the 500. The difference between these values, this 7,000 and 6,500. Something like that. Because I don't really think that I want to have. I think it would be quite difficult to have a variable for the change in the values. Just a sec. But because it is the important thing, so there would be two things here, like it is also the, because there's this blur here. This is the same thing as this accumulation. So then I wonder, like, do I want to have here kind of like have it here like this, and then I would have a different color just for this. This is the new one. I could also have here no. I'm thinking about these here also, like is there a way or like need to make this even better, this, because you have here, you could color this area all blue here. I don't know if this is needed to make, okay, because actually not, because it's not, it doesn't, the color doesn't, it's not a uniform color, so maybe it's not a good idea to keep it there. So yeah, but this could be like one thing that one of the things that I was originally thinking, that if I want to have both of these in the same graph, then I could have like this text explanations on the right hand side. I could also like use the left hand side to have as kind of let's see, because I had those options here above. I could let's see, let's move this a little bit. Maybe I could do it like this, that I have okay, need to go a little bit, I don't know, like I could have no. Okay, something is off. Okay, something is weird. Is it because I zoomed in? What's the hell? Okay. Okay, maybe it's working now. Can I go? Okay. So maybe having some kind of area here. I could have all the so I could have like some kind of info here. I could have selections. And more selections. But this could be actually not. No. Okay, something is off. hell? Some kind of, yeah, maybe there's something wrong with the, maybe it's with the Twitter or something, the program. I'm gonna try saving. I wonder if it's crashed. What's the, let's see, what's the resource use actually? It shouldn't be, should be like too much, but it is at 0%. It's kind of weird. Like it's, I think it's, might be, it's weird. I think I want to take this out. So maybe, yeah, it's, I don't know, it's, I don't know, it's weird, it doesn't work now. So just have like a, I could have like all kind of like selection stuff on like, or this kind of like, whatever you want to change, like these selections here to the left and to the right, then I could have like some kind of most important text results, but maybe like make some kind of selection here that it doesn't make it sure that these don't go below here, so that this also works if the user only wants to look at one of these graphs. So they don't want to scroll. Not sure if that's like if they want to look at only one graph, then the graph could be taller maybe, and then I don't know like really like how to. But I'm thinking like, could this work so that there's a there's a selection area here in the left, and this kind of like a use area to the right. Yeah, I think I'm gonna end the stream here, and maybe this is not like, maybe in some future stream I will try to make a. I think this will be about sketching for a long time, but if I'm gonna make get the application ready at some point, then I think it's okay. Here the layers are not maybe working so well, but you could build some kind of application presentation so that it's in 16:9, like a PowerPoint. You could build it as PowerPoint presentation, and you could first show this kind of like a bare bones thing that like, or maybe like first some like introductory kind of like slides, and then you just add complexity, and then you add like different kind of things that you can do with the app, and in the end it would be, I don't know, like it would be like you could show different ways you can do, and not you, so you wouldn't have like, this is very like messy looking as it is right now, but if you can add like little by little, and you can always just show like some sides, like you can select like what layers are printed for each scale, like and you could like as you make the application, you could a little bit like play around with the different different layers on like what kind of information you are putting on each layer, and also like add here like you could like add here text that if you have like you could make this kind of like actually this like this is the website view, so you could add some also like some other information here, and like for example some kind of like title, like what is this slide showing now, or something like that, some explanation. Yeah, I think like it would be nice maybe to produce some kind of grant application in some kind of like PowerPoint view. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna